What is going on, you guys? It's your host, Galdon. Thank you so much for stopping by another episode of Clash Royale, or if it's your first time here, thank you for stopping by. We are checking out TV Royale Arena 10 Legendary Arena because Hog Rocket decks are popping up all over the place in the top 100, so we thought we'd do a little studying. We're going to take a look at some of these guys who are playing in the top 100, top 50, top 25 of Clash Royale, fully maxed out decks, fully maxed out players who are some of the best, playing none other than the dirtiest of dirty, the Rocket. Okay, no, I realize, okay, I correct myself. It's nowhere near the dirtiest of dirty, but it's still kind of a little bit dirty. The Hog Rocket deck, super popular. So what we're going to do today is study it a little bit, see how these pro players play it at the top of the leaderboards, and then try it out ourselves and just see how we do. Now, you know that's not going to be the greatest outcome. We'll do that a little bit later in the episode, but for now, let's check out some real solid players like Moose from Indian Union. I believe he was in the top 25 in the world at the time when this battle hit TV Royale. You can check out his opponent using kind of a zap bait deck. Definitely a zap bait deck. Now, he's got the cannon way out in front, protecting, and you see the Hog Rider's not going to do much there. So early on, it doesn't look that different than a gala battle. I mean, you know, I kind of do this and don't get a whole lot of places sometimes. Not a single hit point off of his opponent, but then again, remember, these battles go to TV Royale because they're exciting, they're super close. Not maybe your average battle for a top 20 player, but then again, you also have to remember that these guys are facing a lot of very solid players on the way up. So the bowler coming from the opposite side, so I kind of like that. The bowler definitely in the new meta now with the change of the zap spell. The bowler defending really well against the furnace and against the goblin barrel. If you drop that bowler in the back behind the tower, he's going to wipe out those goblins, and it's just a matter of getting the timing down just right. So speaking of goblins, there's the goblin barrel on the left-hand side. It's going to get some damage on that tower. Musketeer going down the left. Moose has got his ice golem going down the right-hand side. The Hog's going to try to push that ice golem forward. There it goes, right to the tower. Now that is a key right there. Getting the successful Hog pushing the ice golem, always important. That's something I don't seem to have that much consistency with. It does come down to very precise placement. You saw it right there as the Hog squeezed his way onto the bridge, pushed that ice golem forward. The log misses one of the goblins there. The other one gets to the tower. And early on, not looking great for Moose, but here it comes, the Rocket on the tower and on the boulder at the same time. So again, I've talked about this before. Anytime you're using direct damage spells like Fireball, Rocket, it is important that you try to get the best value possible. A rocket by itself on a tower is rarely going to be an effective use of elixir. Once again, his opponent drops the goblin barrel behind the tower. This one right on the tower. Made one goblin survive the first time, got lots of damage the second time, and now we are going into overtime with Moose, again, way behind in this battle. And get ready for another 6 elixir rocket. There it goes, and it's going to land this time on the furnace. That was like he knew something was coming right there. He calls good game. In comes the log, and he picks up the win. So really turning things around quickly right there, and those rockets doing a great deal of damage to the tower. Now we're going to check out another top 50 player. This was another TV Royale battle between level 13s, and like you could see as I was scrolling through the battles, they are all over the place. Hog Rocket, super popular. Now this is a push I'll use occasionally at the beginning. Throw in the Ice Spirit and the Hog Rider. He's got the Lava Hound down, so immediately Royal getting a big advantage right here. And his opponent chooses to do nothing to counter the Hog Rider, instead saving back up to 10 elixir, and he's focusing on this big Lava Hound push with minions. He's got the Ice Spirit. Looks like he's trying to time it from the back of the pack right there. And the balloon. So Lava Hound, balloon, miner, Ice Spirit, everybody moving in at once, encroaching on this tower. And the defensive rocket this time, the defensive rocket is a lifesaver. The balloon doesn't get that much damage, but Royal has lost over 2/3 of his tower. But the opponent's tower, much more badly damaged. So if you take that as a trade, Royal is still in the lead going into the final 2 minutes of this battle. So Eilir from Synergy starting with another Lava Hound push. This time Royal trying to prepare a little bit for it. He's got the cannon down that should pull the Lava Hound over, and the Musketeer to start grinding that Lava Hound down. Waiting to see what comes down next. You know the balloon can't be far behind. The Ice Spirit again. This time it's a Mini P.E.K.K.A. The Mini P.E.K.K.A. and the Miner. So the Mini P.E.K.K.A., a very unusual card right here to see, especially in a Lava Hound style deck. But look at Royal's use of the cannon to pull those units off to the left. The Mini P.E.K.K.A. never gets to the tower, and neither do most of the Lava Pups. So we're just about to get to double elixir, and Royal's push, this one is clearly going to annihilate this tower. Eilir choosing rather to focus again on a big Lava Hound push. So this is an unusual strategy, just giving away hundreds if not thousands of hit points and damage. It doesn't seem like Eilir really has a shot here, but you know this battle is going to be close if it made TV Royale. In comes the big push, Lava Hound and Balloon and plenty of elixir. A rocket one more time. I love this defensive rocket use. That is kind of unusual, not normally ideal, but it does seem to work out and keeps the balloon away from the tower. Just about 30 seconds left, and now the player from Synergy getting a little bit panicked. He's really got to push to try to get this tower in the last 25 seconds or so. The cannon goes down. Here comes the balloon one more time. One more defensive rocket, and again, this is not what I expected to see. The rocket being used primarily on defense, you guys. The Hog Rider, the Musketeer, got that tower down, not the rocket like we saw in the first replay. Time is just about to count down. Another Hog Rider on its way in. The arrows, he can't quite get the job done. Well played. We're going to say that was not a troll taunt. And a rocket right in the middle of the screen. So Royal picking up a win with the Hog Rocket deck as well. But wait, there's more. That's right. These, I'm telling you, they were all over. 14 Loving. This is a guy we see near the top of the leaderboards almost every single season, and he wants people to follow him. So, all right, let's check this one out. Another Hog Rocket deck. And a well played. These guys maybe know each other. If you got a lot of guys like this that sit near the top of the leaderboards, they probably do play each other a lot every single season, and maybe even start to get to know each other's style. Right there, the Hog pushes the Ice Golem, gets to the tower, and gets quite a bit of damage before it's down. That is about a third of that right tower early on with the Hog Rider push. So again, what we're seeing here is a wide variety of usages for that rocket. It's not just offensive. Great value, obviously, offensively. It is going to take out a lot of stuff, especially when you're getting a unit and a tower at the same time. But defensively, when you see these big groupings of units, that is when you get massive value. And of course, right here, immediately wiping out an elixir pump. That is huge. Although his opponent putting on pressure with the elite barbs immediately, they are going to eventually get to the tower and get a little bit of damage, but not a great deal. Only one got there, and not a great deal, meaning only about 3,000. But who's splitting hairs? I mean, a little bit, a lot. Okay. All right. Final 90 seconds of this battle. Another Hog Rider Musketeer push defended by the log. Pushes them back temporarily. Hog on that tower. He's going to get 2 shots on the tower before he goes down. So the right-hand tower just about cut in half right now with less than 90 seconds remaining. You can see trying to decide how to defend here. He's going to go ahead and drop that Ice Golem. That's going to keep the Musketeer off the tower and let the tower work on the Musketeer. That right there, the distancing and getting that perfect range, something that I don't always get right. You drop that Ice Golem in the wrong spot and the Musketeer stops, starts firing on the Ice Golem. This right here, it's an even trade. It's a fair trade. The opponent wastes his elixir, you waste yours, and even though it doesn't give you an advantage, at least it is preventing your opponent from gaining an advantage over the next 30 or 60 seconds, because even when you only slightly damage or majorly damage one of those towers, there is going to be a period in the match where your opponent is generating more elixir than you are, and so he may not gain a profit, but it still can be difficult to deal with, especially if you're already in double elixir. So I think the move of the rocket on the elixir collector is probably a good one, even if you can't grab units or a tower at the same time. Hog Rider gets one more shot on the tower. Final 20 seconds. Big pressure from Hunter. Hog Rider moving in. He's going to pull off and go after that cannon, though. 1163 on his opponent's tower. 14 is well behind, but he's got the rocket. He just needs about 400 more hit points off that right tower, and he can rocket it to win the match. Get ready, a couple of musketeers. Here is an ice spirit right here, and get ready for the Hog Rider. Just needs really one shot to put it within zap rocket range. He's not going to get there. The log, the elite barbs stuff that Hog Rider. Here come the elite barbs getting pulled off onto the ice golem. Another musketeer goes down, more skeletons, making sure that those elite barbs get nowhere near the tower. Another Hog Rider. Could this be it? The zaps from both players and the hog can't do it. Just over 1,000 left on that tower, 30 seconds left in overtime. Will it end in a draw? You know it won't. That right tower so badly damaged. In come more elite barbs. This looks like the end. The ice spirits, the skeleton, the musketeers doing the job. The Hog Rider really risky right here. Gonna get that shot. Finally gets the shot on the tower. That puts it within rocket range. And here comes the rocket. This never feels good. I don't care who you are to know there's nothing you can do to stop it. 14 throwing up the good game, and that one hitting TV Royale again with the Hog Rocket deck. So I figured, what the heck, let's give it a try. Now, of course, this isn't a challenge, a grand challenge match, rather than in ladder play, and things are a little bit different between the two, and that's something we'll cover in a future episode. And yes, I am going to do something kind of crazy here. It's the Psychic Rocket. The Psychic Rocket almost works out really well. Had he only dropped the Minion Horde and the Electro Wizard sooner, then that's massive value, and I look like I'm brilliant. Instead, I look like a goat, and I don't mean greatest of all time. Terrible move. Don't do that. I was just kind of having some fun there. Okay, so the Hog Psychic Rocket doesn't work out. If you want to know about Psychic tries, check out my Psychic Fireball episode where that did work out pretty well. Now, this time, I've got to get around to the rocket right here because we want to get the rocket on the tower and the Sparky. Surprising that he knew I had a rocket and did it anyway. We get the tower and the Sparky with that rocket, and that's beautiful. This is almost the ideal kind of deck that I want to face whenever I have a rocket in my pocket, and that is the Sparky, because we can annihilate it as it passes by the tower, doing great double damage, double duty from that rocket booty. I did just say that. I'm sorry. All right, so the log gets in, pushes and stops the fire spirits. That worked out pretty well. Didn't know they were coming, so another just lucky guess for me. The Electro Wizard getting stalled on the ice golem right there. Finally, the giant goes down, and the Electro Wizard follows. Looks like we could have a Hog Rider push right here, but instead, in comes another Sparky, and this time, I'm going to go ahead and defend against the Sparky successfully, just using the Musketeer. That works out really well. We zapped it. Musketeer gets a couple of shots, and now we're facing yet another legendary. This guy's got the Lumberjack, the Sparky, and the Electro Wizard working for him. And luckily, we held that one off as well. Another Musketeer on the way. Can't quite squeeze the Ice Golem. No, Galadon, what are you doing? No, okay, that was bad. Now, the Ice Golem should have gotten in front of the Musketeer. Didn't work out. We pushed with the Hog anyway, and you see how poorly that ended up. So no, I am not employing pro tactics that we just saw in the previous battles in this battle. I realize that. You can go down and abuse me in the comments anyway. I'm used to it. I understand. Trying to hold on, though. We've got the Giant going over to the cannon, the Ice Golem, and the Ice Golem is going to keep that Lumberjack at bay long enough that the Musketeer frees up, and there we go. Lumberjack down, Hog Rider trying to get in. Here comes another Sparky. This time, we are going to rocket the Sparky all by itself out in the middle of nowhere, and it works out okay. We've gotten his right tower pretty far down. The Musketeer gets another shot. The log gets the tower down, and somehow, some way, despite what I realized was amateur play with the Hog Rocket deck, we are going to grab the victory using this very unorthodox employment of a very common strategy. So there you guys go. Let me know if you're trying the Hog Rocket or Rocket with anything else in this new meta. Thank you as always for watching all the way to the end of this episode. You guys are the true #GalaFan members, and I do sincerely think about you guys and appreciate every last one of you. And I also hope that all of you will come back again tomorrow for more full attacks.
Do you think about me? I hope it's good thoughts.